He said he was sleeping at his brother's place. I said cool, then sent his brother a text. Hope you two are having fun. His brother replied, what are you talking about? I sent a screenshot. He never messaged again. I'm a 37-year-old woman from Fayetteville, Arkansas. My name's Mandy. I manage rental properties for a living, nothing fancy, but it pays the bills and keeps me busy. I live in a modest brick house just outside town. I'd been dating this guy, Denny, for 3 years. We met at a backyard party my cousin threw. He was tall, wore worn-out jeans and boots, had this lazy grin and a voice that made everything sound laid back. Said he worked in HVAC. I liked that. A guy who worked with his hands, didn't mind getting dirty. It felt honest. Things moved fast. Too fast. He moved in less than a year later. I let him because he made me feel like I mattered. I didn't grow up with a lot of love, so maybe that's why I clung to it harder than I should have. At first, he was great. Attentive, sweet. We'd sit on the porch with beers, talk about our day. But about a year ago, things started changing. It wasn't sudden. Just small things that didn't feel right. He'd come home late. Later than usual. He'd blame emergency jobs or last-minute service calls. Some rich asshole's AC went out, he'd say. They're paying extra for me to fix it now. I believed him. Or I tried to, because that's what you do when you love someone. You give them the benefit of the doubt. But then he started leaving town for the night. Not often. Maybe once or twice a month. Always some excuse. Going to help my brother Paul with a unit. Or staying with Paul tonight. Don't feel like driving back late. Every time, he made it sound like it was no big deal. And I didn't want to sound like the clingy girlfriend, so I'd say, cool. Be safe. But I'd lie awake in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering why something didn't sit right. The last time he did it, something in me snapped. It was a Friday night. He packed a small bag, said he was heading to Siloam Springs to help Paul fix an old rooftop unit. I'll crash at Paul's, he said. Be back by lunch tomorrow. Cool, I said. I kissed him goodbye and watched him drive off. Then I sat there. Silent. The house felt too quiet. And I just had this knot in my chest. Not panic. Not jealousy. Just something cold. Like the truth was finally pushing through. So I picked up my phone and texted Paul. I said, hope you and Denny are having a good time tonight. He texted back, what are you talking about? No emojis. No joking tone. Just those 6 words. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I sent Paul a screenshot. The one of Denny saying he was staying with him. Paul didn't reply. Not for a while. Then my phone rang. It was Paul. Mandy, he said. His voice was low. I haven't seen Denny in over a month. I don't even know what you're talking about. I couldn't speak for a second. I just felt the blood rush out of my face. He said, are you okay? I said, yeah. Thanks for letting me know. He paused. You want me to call him? No, I said. I'll take care of it. And I did. I didn't blow up when Denny came home the next day around noon. He was wearing the same clothes. Smelled like stale sweat and motor oil. He kissed me on the forehead and said, Paul says hey. I just smiled and said, tell him I said hi. He had no idea. I spent the next 2 weeks gathering everything I needed. I wasn't going to confront him blind. I wanted to know who she was. Because I knew there was someone. You don't lie like that unless there's another person. So I went through his stuff. I'm not proud of that part, but I did. I checked his laundry. His tool bag. His phone when he was in the shower. And that's when I saw the name JC. It wasn't saved with hearts or anything suspicious. Just JC. But the texts were bad. Real bad. Her. I love when you sleep over. I sleep better when you're here. Him. I'll make up a story for Mandy again. She's too trusting, LOL. They even joked about me. Called me the home base. Said things like she won't leave me. She's scared to be alone. I took screenshots of everything. Then I waited for the right day. And when it came, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I destroyed him in silence. I waited until a Thursday. He always worked a short shift on Thursdays and got home by 3. I cleaned the house, made dinner, even wore that sundress he always said he liked. I wanted everything to look normal. When he walked through the door, I kissed him, sat him down, fed him his favorite meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans with bacon. He had no idea what was coming. After dinner, I said, "I got a surprise for you." He grinned, leaned back in the chair. "Yeah? What kind of surprise?" "Come to the bedroom," I said. He followed me like a damn puppy. When he opened the door, he stopped cold. Laid out on the bed were all his clothes, his tools, his boots, his entire life packed and folded. Right next to a printed stack of his texts with JC. I'd highlighted the worst ones. "What the hell is this?" he said. I just stared at him. "You tell me." He looked down at the papers, then back at me. "Where'd you get this?" "Your phone," I said. "You really should delete things better." He started pacing. "You went through my shit? That's messed up." "No," I said. "What's messed up is lying. What's messed up is using me for rent and pretending you're working while you're screwing some little girl who calls you baby in texts." He looked like he wanted to yell but didn't know what to say. So I handed him his phone. I had it open, showing the text from Paul. The one where Paul said he hadn't seen him in weeks. "I texted Paul that night," I said. "The one you said you were staying at his place." Denny looked at the screen and turned pale. I've never seen him look so scared. "You told him?" he asked. "I didn't have to," I said. "You outed yourself." He stood there quiet for a minute. Then he muttered, "So what now?" I smiled. "Now you leave." He blinked. "You serious?" I walked to the front door, opened it wide. "You have 5 minutes." He didn't move. So I grabbed his duffel bag, tossed it at his feet. "You want me to call Paul? Or better yet, JC? Think she'd like to see how you talk about her behind her back." That did it. He grabbed the bag and left. Didn't even slam the door. But I wasn't done. Because I knew something else. JC? She wasn't some random girl. She was 22. And she worked for the same apartment complex I managed, a leasing assistant I had hired 6 months ago. She smiled in my face every day, told me how much she admired how I ran things. Said she wanted to be just like me. And all the while, she was screwing my boyfriend behind my back. I wasn't just betrayed by Denny. I was betrayed by her, too. And I wasn't going to let it go. The day after I kicked Denny out, I went into work like nothing happened. Hair done. Fresh coffee in hand. Smiling like always. JC was already there. Sitting at her desk in the front office, pretending to look busy. She glanced up and gave me that fake little smile. "Morning, Mandy." I smiled right back. "Morning, JC." I sat at my desk, turned on my computer, and waited. I didn't say anything at first. I let her sweat. I wanted her to feel normal for a few more hours. Then I called her into my office. She walked in, acting casual, like she had no idea what was coming. "Close the door," I said. She closed it. I motioned for her to sit down. She sat across from me, legs crossed, still playing the innocent act. "I'm gonna ask you something," I said. "And I want you to answer honestly." She blinked. "Okay. Are you sleeping with Denny?" Dead silence. She stared at me, mouth open, like she'd just been smacked. Then she said, "What?" I leaned forward, keeping my voice low. "I saw the texts. I know everything." She didn't deny it. Not even for a second. Her face turned red. She looked down. "I didn't mean for it to happen." I let out a small laugh. "Yeah, that's what they all say." She started talking fast, all panicked. "It started months ago, but he told me you guys were on and off. That you were more like roommates." "I swear, I never wanted to hurt you." I held up my hand. "Stop." She shut up. "I trusted you," I said. "I gave you a job. I trained you. You sat in this office and smiled in my face while you were screwing the man I lived with. She said nothing, just sat there like a scolded child. I should fire you on the spot, I said. But I'm not. She looked up, confused. No, I continued. I'm going to do you one better. I leaned back and smiled. You're going to keep working here. But every single task you do, I'll be watching. Every phone call, every email, every late arrival, every mistake. Her eyes widened. Mandy, please, you want it to be like me, right? I said. Then you're gonna learn the hard way what it feels like when someone stabs you in the back. She started crying. I didn't care. I dismissed her. Told her to get back to work. I didn't want her gone. I wanted her humiliated. I wanted her to wake up every morning dreading coming into that office. I wanted her to wonder what I'd do next. And Denny? He thought disappearing would make this go away. He was wrong. I wasn't done with him either. Because I found something else in his texts. He'd used my name. On applications. On bills. Credit cards I never opened. He'd been running up debt in my name for over a year. And that was going to be his final mistake. I sat on the couch that night with every piece of paper spread across the coffee table, bank statements, credit reports, emails. Things I should have noticed earlier. The cards weren't in my hand because they never came to the house. He'd used a different mailing address, his buddy's place, probably. There were 3 credit cards. All maxed out. Over $8,000 in my name. I felt stupid. Furious. But more than anything, I felt used. I stayed up all night thinking about what to do. I could go to the police. Report the fraud. But part of me wanted something more personal than that. Something he'd feel. I started making calls the next morning. I canceled every card tied to my name. Froze my credit. Then I called every company he worked with, using my connections in property management. HVAC services are tight-knit in this town. Everyone knows everyone. I told them about the fraud. I didn't make anything up. Just the facts. Told them he'd been using my personal info to open accounts. Let them know I had paperwork to back it up. I didn't scream. Didn't cry. Just made sure the right people heard the truth. Then I filed the police report. That part wasn't even for me. It was for the record. Because I knew once he lost the jobs, the trucks, the clients, he'd come crawling back. And he did. 2 weeks later, he showed up at my door. He looked like hell. Dirty jeans. No shave. Hat in hand. Mandy, he said. I need to talk. I didn't let him in. I lost everything, he said. They dropped me from the contractor list. Said you called. I nodded. I did. His jaw tightened. You didn't have to ruin my life. You stole from me, I said. You lied to me for a year. Slept with a girl half my age who worked for me. You think I was gonna let that slide? I messed up, he said. But this? You didn't have to go this far. I leaned in. And what were you gonna do if I hadn't found out? Keep using my credit? Keep lying? You don't get to limit how mad I'm allowed to be. He didn't answer. You made me feel stupid, I said. You laughed about me in your texts. You thought I'd never find out. I'm sorry, he muttered. No, you're sorry you got caught. I shut the door in his face. But I wasn't done. JC quit a month later. Couldn't handle the tension. I didn't even speak to her. Just watched her pack up her desk in silence. She left a note. Some crap about taking accountability and needing space to grow. I tossed it in the trash. As for me, I fixed my credit. Took time. Took phone calls. But I cleaned it up. Paid what I had to. Fought what I didn't. People told me I should have pressed charges harder. Maybe I should have. But the truth is, seeing Denny lose his work, his reputation, and his girl, that was enough for me. I still think about what I missed. The signs I ignored. I was too trusting. Too eager to believe someone who said the right things. That was my mistake. But I fixed it. And next time? There won't be a next time. A few months after everything went down, life started getting normal again, or at least my new version of normal. I worked. I saved. I didn't date. Not because I was scared, but because I didn't want anyone near me who could tear apart what I was rebuilding. It felt good to be alone, honestly. Peaceful. But Fayetteville isn't that big. One Saturday, I was grocery shopping at Harps. Wearing sweats, hair in a messy bun, just grabbing milk and bread, not looking for trouble. I turned the corner into the produce section, and there he was. Denny. He looked worse than before. Gaunt. Greasy hair tucked under a trucker cap. Wearing a faded HVAC service shirt I knew he didn't work for anymore. And he wasn't alone. JC was with him. Pregnant. Huge belly. They were arguing in low, hissing voices over a bag of apples. I froze for half a second, then turned away before they could see me. But before I could get out of there, I heard JC's voice loud and sharp. Maybe if you hadn't lost your damn job, we wouldn't be living in that shithole. Then Denny's voice louder. Maybe if you weren't such a spoiled little bitch, I wouldn't have to work 2 gas station jobs. I didn't stick around to hear more. I left my cart right there and walked straight out the sliding doors into the parking lot, heart pounding. Not from fear, but from the deep, cold satisfaction that washed over me. It hit me right then. I didn't just survive them. I outlived them. They destroyed each other faster than I ever could. And I didn't have to lift a finger.